Uh, Hi. So it looks like there we go. Okay. So we're gonna talk about doing multi-step inequalities first. So it's the same as we were doing with one and two step inequalities, but we are just kind of kicking it up a notch. Much like multi-step equations, it's the same rules, but you have more things to do. So don't forget, you have to remember if we're using an open or closed circle, we have to kind of take care of whether the variable is on the left or the right and what that means for our inequality. And remember, if you ever divide or multiply by a negative, you need to flip the inequality sign. Okay, so you're kind of looking at my ceiling fan because I'm still getting used to things. But let's just go right on in. So we're going to do -4 times 1 is -4. -4. And then -4 times -7x is a positive 28x. And now, even though I multiplied by a -4, I'm not gonna flip the sign. I'm still getting used to my tablet, obviously. I'm not gonna flip the sign because I didn't multiply both sides by -4, right? So you only flip the sign when you're doing it to both sides. So this 164 over here never changed. So it just stays. Now this 4 has to go. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. There you go. And these kind of cancel out, and you're left with 28x is less than 164 plus 4 is 168. And now I have to divide both sides by positive 28, right? So I'm dividing by a positive. There's no need to flip the sign. And now I have x is less than 6. So now I need to plot it on the number line. I need to ask myself, this is too funny. I need to figure out, do I need an open circle or a closed circle? I need an open circle, right? Because there's no line underneath that 6. So it's an open circle. And then I need to ask myself, okay, x, my answers, right? Are they smaller than the 6 or bigger? And all my x's are smaller, right? Because x is less than 6. The alligator mouth is eating the 6. The 6 is the bigger thing, meaning all my answers for my x shade down the number line. Okay. So here we have this. So we're going to distribute 5 in. So 5 times -3x is -15x. And again, even though I'm using like a -3, it doesn't mean I flip the sign yet. We only flip the sign when we multiply or divide by a negative on both sides, right? So I don't really need to do anything just yet. So 5 times -3x is -15x. And then 5 times a positive 7 is positive 35. And again, I don't need to flip the sign. I didn't do anything yet. Okay, cool. So now I have this x over here. This 35, that is a constant. It needs to go over with the other constant, right? So I'm going to subtract 35. And remember, I'm subtracting. This all does not require a inequality flip. I'm subtracting. I'm not multiplying or dividing by anything like that, right? So this -15 comes down, -15x. 35 minus 35 is nothing. They cancel out. They're 0, right? That's why I did it. And then the less than or equal to sign comes down. And then 110 minus 35 is 75. Okay, last step. I'm going to divide by -15 on both sides. Oh, I just divided by a negative on both sides. That means something special's happening. So we have x. Oh, flip that inequality. We divided by a -15. You have to flip the inequality. And then 75 divided by -15 is -5. Okay, so I'm going to go on my number line. There's no -5 marked here, right? But if you look at the number line, where would a -5 fall? Between the -4 and the -6. So I'm right here. I made a mistake. What was it? This should be a closed circle, right? Because of the greater than or equal to. So we have to fill that circle in. It's a closed circle because of that little line here, implying that it's or equal to. Okay, so now x, is that bigger or smaller? The x is bigger, so I'm going to shade up the number line, right? Because the farther I go this way, I get -4, -3, -2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 million, whatever, right? So that's how that one's done. Here is a little bit of a neater version of the problem. Hopefully you can see it. Okay. Pause. Okay, this problem's a bit of a doozy. That's okay though. And we are going to notice that our variable's on the right. I know some of you like to flip in the first place. Like you like to get the variable onto the left, which is fine. But if you do that, this inequality is sort of biting, right? Alligator mouth biting this side, it should continue to bite that side. So if you just decide to like start moving stuff around, you have to remember which way the inequality needs to, which side those alligator mouth is biting, okay? I'm not going to do it that way, but I know some of you like to do it that way. So just be conscious of that. All right, so let's just jump into this one. We have -130. And then 2 times 8m is 16m. 2 times -5 is -10. And I do not distribute that 2 to the -8 because it's like outside, so we don't do that. Now I'm going to combine like terms. It's a -10 minus 8. Don't lose your signs, right? So we have -130 less than 16m minus 18. And now we have to add 18 to both sides. Hey, we add 18 to both sides. What's happening? I don't know what happened there. So we add 18 to both sides, right? Which is going to -130 plus 18 is -112 less than 16m. Ew. Now we divide both sides by 16. And I'm out of space, so I'm just going to continue over here. I'm just going to rewrite what I had because it only takes a second. Divide both sides by 16. And it's a positive 16. No need to flip any signs or anything, right? Cancel, cancel. M is over here. Again, we no need to flip the sign for any reason. And then -112 divided by 16 is -7. Okay, so we're going to go find our -7, which is here, between the -6 and the -8. It's an open circle because there's no line underneath. And M, my solutions are bigger. So we're going to shade right here. My forehead is in the way, my forehead of my ceiling fan, but we are going to shade to the right, and that's how that's done. Reach out if you need anything.